And it's a long time you didn't saw that snake. Why? Well, today, let's find out. Let's go!
Yoiki Tenkai Ebi no Heya.
So it is a very long time you didn't saw Sarada on the channel. Maybe on the outside video, yes. But otherwise it was a very long time you didn't saw her. And what's the reason for that? I mean, I think the last video I did was like, that went out with her. I mean, it was maybe in April, May, something like that. So it was a very long time. And there is a couple of reasons for that. A very big reason for that is despite being like, and she's a little bit like, it's a long time she didn't went out, so also she's a little bit stressed, but she's okay. I mean, she'll calm down a little bit. But the thing is that she's like 20, she's like 250 when it began, and when I stopped getting her out, when I stopped filming stuff with her and stuff, etc. It's the only reason for that is because she was 250 grams. She was not even 2 years old, and she was ovulating. Now I have footage of it, and she had big ass follicles for her size, and that's the only reason why I didn't film and I didn't took her out and I didn't mess with her for a whole like 3-4 months. Is because only for that. She was ovulating. She was like, and she went very far in that. Now for a lot of people, now the thing is that, hey, she ovulated, you should pair her, you should have paired her. I mean, the small freaking dude is not even a year old. He's like 65 grams when I'm filming. Never ever would breed her, and even if he would, I mean, I'm first the health of my snakes before the rest. So I prefer to wait another year or another 2 years before. I mean, but they cohabit, so at that point they choose, but you get that thing. You know, but I prefer to have that chill and that they do on their own stuff great than just like forcing to breed and trying to force breeding and stuff. So yeah, so the first thing that happened that made me think she was going into a breeding period is when she sometimes let the box open, no problem. But the thing is that she went there, and when they're touching each other, she was twitching. So that was something really positive first. She was twitching, and I know from experience that when they are twitching, and that's what happened with my previous corn snakes also, when she was twitching, you know, she was receptive for breeding. So at that point I was like, maybe they're just accepting each other, I don't know, we'll see. But I think she will go into a breeding mode. We'll see. She was destroying food even more, she was more than a savage. So that also clink in my ear, and I was like, maybe she's on the ovulating part, she's on the breeding part. And then, you know, with time, she was bigger and bigger on the last third of her body, bigger and bigger and rounder. So at some point, I began like to palpate her and stuff. And, you know, first I sent like 6 follicles, then 8 follicles, then 10, and it went up to 12 follicles. And I was like, nah, dude, she's ovulating. We'll see what happens, you know, and I didn't mess with her. That's what happened. I mean, I messed with her sometimes a little bit when it was needed, you know, for feeding. I had to find her out. Now, before the video, I had to find her out because she was buried in the substrate. You know, I had to find her out. I had to, you know, just sometimes just like to wait her and stuff, you know, I kept it for the bare minimum of messing with her. Just for the healthy statistics, just to know she eats, just to know she shed, just to know she poops, just to know she doesn't lose too much weight or gain too much weight. So I have to adjust the feeding, you know, and all that stuff. Yeah, she never stopped eating. And now I think you can see it if I show you. If you see the picture, I will show you the pictures. But I think that, wait, now you see it, she has nothing more. She's just like reabsorbed everything. Maybe she's here like a little bit round and stuff. And when I'm palpating, there's nothing more. I mean, there's nothing. But she's all empty. But well, she's not empty, but you get that thing. You know, she's not empty because otherwise she would have let something. But she didn't let anything. She's as muscular as everyone, you know, as she ever was. I mean, you have to help her a little bit. I think she has a little fat storage, so I will maybe just like slow down on the feeding for a couple weeks. Going to every 2 weeks. So she burned a little bit that, because I think that even though she was ovulating, she wasn't moving as much as she was. So I think that she get a little fatter also from that. So I will like, and you know that I prefer my snakes a little more on the skinnier part. Now I'm not saying skinny. I prefer them more on the slim part, a little bit like you have like the perfect weight, but I don't want her to go overweighted. I prefer to have a little bit underweighted, or a perfect weight is better, but a little slimmer than she should, than bigger than she should. But the thing is that I think on the last third, I mean, she is maybe a little bit like bigger than she should be. I'll see with that. But she gained weight like for the last 2 weeks. She gained weight like freaking crazy. So I think that I'll just like slow down a little bit now the feeding. But yeah, if you want to know, I didn't made any hibernation or any brumation. I'm not planning on any brumation. I'll just like cool down a little bit as much as I can here. I go from here plain summer, the heat spot, the hot side, the heat spot, the basking spot is at 32 degrees Celsius. And when we were on the winter, in the winter, it was like 28. So I will maybe go a little bit lower and stop feeding for 4 weeks or so. I'll adjust things and I'll talk about it in the videos about it. So I think it's like, yeah, but she's back on the channel, so I will film her with her some videos. While also you can see some stuff that I did, because it's not because she was tough. And also, yeah, some people saw on Instagram that I made a nest box. So this nest box was homemade, 100% homemade, with sphagnum moss and shit. It is all dry. Now it's all humid. It's still whole humid, Jesus Christ. It's whole humid and stuff. She went there a little bit. You know, it was like a nesting box, because I just don't want her to like lay, if she had to lay something, whether it was slugs, whether it was parthenogenic eggs, I don't know, I prefer to have all the possibilities, even though I wasn't like tripping about it, because I wasn't thinking she would lay anything, but you never know. So I prepared that because I don't want to have eggs on an impossible part of the enclosure where I can't, like, it's freaking difficult to have them, to keep them, to grab them. So yeah, that was pretty much the anecdote on Sarada. She is back on the stage. So I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Don't forget to support USR. Don't forget to jump in the bedroom. Don't forget to support AodaReptile, responsible reptile keeping. And don't forget to see, because I still posted pictures of her on Instagram. So don't forget Instagram to see all of their adventures, and I hope to see you on the next one.